What's up, everyone? Adrian Morrison here. I want to welcome you to the Profit Power Hour tonight. I'm excited to have you here as always. You should all see my screen. It's the welcome screen for the Profit Power Hour. It's got a link at the top to get started building your own Shopify store using our software that pairs with AI. It will build you a free store build. As long as you have your Shopify account, it will do it for free, and it will put 20 products on there for you, again, completely free. There are upgrades along the way that you could choose from. Those are completely optional. You can just do all the free stuff. It's up to you. But if you don't have a store yet, go to profitph.com/free store, and it'll show you exactly how to get started. And at the bottom, we have some of our recommended vendors, notably ShineOn, which has just been crushing it lately, especially for Mother's Day and Father's Day and Valentine's Day. All these different holidays really are great for this particular vendor, but they also have incredible products that just sell year round, which we talked about last week. So I'm gonna get my camera on real quick. What's up, everyone? So last week we had someone from ShineOn pop on, Michael, who has become a good friend of mine. It's rare that I bring people on. I've just watched him for a couple of years as he started as a seller at ShineOn and then became, I believe, an equity partner in ShineOn. And he came on here and just gave a lot of value. And like I said, it's very rare that I let people come on these webinars. And he is back tonight for some more training. Everyone loved last week's training so much, and it's so short, right? It's only 30 minutes, and I talk and run my mouth for at least 8 every time we get started. I just can't help myself. So he agreed to come back and do some more incredible training for y'all on how to find winning phrases that crush on their products. So we'll get to that in just a minute. Again, if you're new, this is a webinar series that we do every single week at 9 p.m. Eastern. We record these. They'll go into your accessadrian.com members area under the Profit Power Hour section, and you can go back and you can watch these trainings. It's such an incredible opportunity to be able to get on these free live streams. So I'm so happy to have you here. And again, if you're new, go ahead, mark this on your calendar, right? This is a free weekly coaching that people would charge thousands of dollars for, that you get access to for free. And if I do bring someone on here, it is someone that is legit, not some like random guru, right? So if you're not in the Facebook group, go to facebook.com/group/profitph, join our Facebook group. And if you don't have the ShineOn app, you can go through my partner link with ShineOn, which is profitph.com/shine. I don't necessarily get a commission when you just create an account with ShineOn, but they have little ways that they spiff me along the way when I refer people. But also, when you go through my link, they see that you're my student, and they do a lot of special things for you as well. They give me lots of gifts to give to y'all and deals throughout the year that are exclusive to my students. So profitph.com/shine, and it's free. All you have to do is just go there and create your ShineOn account. Now, for those of you that don't know, ShineOn is a platform that sells a lot of things, but the main thing that they started with was jewelry. And they have so many sellers that are crushing it. They have lots of free education, and again, their app is free. Now they're doing things like engraved watches, LED signs. They're doing name necklaces, and these are all made in the USA, shipped anywhere in the world. So it's made quickly and it's shipped very fast as well. And this is all print on demand with custom products, which is really incredible. So all you have to do is install their app. And I'm telling you, it's a game changer for anyone with a Shopify store that wants to sell high quality products that don't come from China, right? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna welcome Michael on. So Michael, you can share your screen now and say what up.
What's up? How is everybody doing today? That was quite the intro, dude. I appreciate it. Not sure I deserve all of that, but thank you.
No, man, you're awesome. Like, you always come to drop meat and potatoes and value. Lots of respect for you and your come up. So thanks so much for being here. I know that we contain these to 30 minutes, For people that are new on here, you can give them a brief intro of just like who you are, what you do at ShineOn. And then I know you have an incredible training set up for them. And we're not selling anything tonight, okay? So just relax. All right, this is a free training, free content that you get to consume that he was nice enough to come and share with us. So Michael, I'm gonna turn my camera off. I'm gonna let you take it away, dude. I'm gonna share my screen with you real quick, and I'll just let you get started.
Thanks,
So
dude.
camera
Appreciate
or
that.
screens being shared. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I was a merchant at ShineOn for a number of years. I became a top merchant. I got to know the CEO really well. He invited me to join the company to start a store, like an internal store at the company, and then sell through that store. And when I joined the company, I just, we had this community that was growing and everybody was asking me how I was doing this. So I started teaching and going live in the community. And somehow, I still don't quite know how all this happened, I eventually became CMO at ShineOn. I'm now the president and COO, and I'm an equity partner in the company. So from merchant to equity partner, little weird. I'm the chief steak and potatoes guy, apparently. And I just go live every week. I have fun with the community. I truly enjoy teaching and sharing knowledge and seeing our merchants get success. It's a freaking blast. So that's a little bit about me. Let me see here. I believe I got my screen up and you're looking at my slides. So last week I shared a bunch of products that we have at ShineOn that you can be selling right now. Adrian just went through a few. He talked about name necklaces, engraved watches, all these personalized gifting type products that we have. Really, that's just scratching the surface. We have leather journals, we have blankets, we have t-shirts, we have tote bags, we have canvas and various kinds of wall art. We've got everything you can imagine over at ShineOn. Join through Adrian's link. Go check out our product catalog. It's going to blow your mind. We also have some of the best prices in the entire business. So we have some of the best fulfillment and shipping and some of the best prices, which is amazing. But anytime I do one of these, anytime I'm teaching or sharing about our products, or anytime people see some of the success our merchants are having, they always ask me, they say, Michael, how can I create winning products? How do I create a winning campaign? How do I achieve some of the success I see other people having in the community? Now, look, results aren't guaranteed. We can't promise success or anything like that. Everybody's results vary based on skill level, time, effort, all of those things, right? However, I know that if you want any chance at all of being able to make a product that attracts people, that draws them to it, that makes them even consider buying it, you have to do that based on winning phrases. So today, that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about how to create winning products. And the key to that is a winning phrase. So I'm going to get into this training right now. I'm going to do my best to keep this short for everybody. We've got a lot of slides to get through. I'm going to go super fast. So get out your pens, get out your notepads, get ready to take notes. I guarantee your brain is going to be a little bit fried at the end of this. It is okay. Go back, watch a replay, review your notes, and make sure this is sinking in. This is the most important lesson I think you can learn in print on demand, what I'm about to teach you right here. This is the one thing that I feel like everybody in print on demand should understand. Are you ready? Good. Here we go. So first of all, the phrase that you put on your product is 90% of a winning product. It's the phrase, right? It is the phrase. I'm struggling with my controls here. We have some little idioms at ShineOn that we say in the community to remind us of how important the phrase is. One is, if they cry, they'll buy, baby, right? Because the goal of the phrase is to move somebody emotionally. If you can move them emotionally, they're more likely to take out their credit card and potentially buy your stuff, right? But you have to move them emotionally, and you do that through the words on the product. It's not the design. Sometimes it's not even the product itself. It's the words. It's the phrase on the product. So we say, if they cry, they'll buy, baby. We also say, it's the phrase that pays. It's the phrase that pays. Again, reminding us of the importance of the phrase. We also say, if they feel, it's real. Again, underscoring that you have to move somebody emotionally if you want to persuade them to buy your stuff, right? So you have to remember that. That's the most important takeaway of this entire thing today. The phrase is 90% of what makes up a winning campaign, a winning product, etc. If you can move emotions, if you can move somebody in the feels, right? If you can get them to feel something, you're more likely to get your stuff. Any emotion is fair game. any emotion. You can make them feel sad. Like we have a lot of merchants that sell in the remembrance niche is what we call it. So they'll sell jewelry with a picture of somebody on it that has been deceased. And then on the back of the jewelry, they'll engrave like the lifespan, like the birth year and the death year on the item. And it creates sadness in the buyer. But any emotion is fair game. Sadness actually works. Believe it or not, anger works too. Lots of t-shirts that are trending in the spy tools and seem to be, selling well. A lot of them have these very provocative phrases and things like that on it, right? Sometimes they're political, right? And they're provoking people. They're causing anger, but that's it. That works. Making somebody happy cry is another one. So a phrase about how much a mother loves a daughter, for example, fits into this happy cry space. Laughter. We had a product several years ago that was kind of trending where it was a jewelry item and you opened it and it was this nice, classy piece of jewelry, but the message card that the jewelry was sitting on top of was vulgar and offensive and something I'm not going to repeat here because I don't know if there are kids in the room, but it was shocking, right? And it caused people to laugh, and that worked really well. And then obviously you have love, and love is really good in those, like to my wife, to my fiance, to my future wife type niches. So any emotion is fair game, and the way you create emotion is through the phrase. That's very important. You need to remember that. All right, now how do you write these winning phrases? How do you write phrases that move people emotionally? So the real trick here is you want to create something that we call a phrase bank. Phrase bank. So what you're looking at here is a Trello board, and inside a Trello, you can have like lists in it. You can organize various phrases and things like that you find in the list. It doesn't have to be Trello. It can be a spreadsheet, it can be a Word document, it can be a notepad, it can be anything where you can write down little phrases and kind of keep track of them. We even have some people in the community that use 3x5 note cards. I mean, they're old school, right? Doesn't matter, but you need some way to organize your phrases. And I'm going to teach you how to do some product research, phrase research, to find the good ones. So the way you make this work, so pick a niche that you want to focus on, right? Try to pick one niche to start. It's what I recommend to people. You can pick the wife niche, the daughter niche, the remembrance niche, any of those. Try to pick one niche. And then what you're going to do is you're going to visit a bunch of these different sites. I'll go over them very, very quickly. And you're going to search for phrases related to your niche, right? So for example, let's say we go to Pinterest and we want to do a to my daughter type of thing. You can go to Pinterest and right in the search bar, you can type to my daughter quote, to my daughter letter, to my daughter poem, something like that, right? And it's going to give you a bunch of search results. You can do that on Etsy. You can go to hallmark.com and get inspiration. You can go to Google Images and type the same thing, and you're going to get search results that have canvas art and metal art and t-shirts and all kinds of things. You're gonna be able to read the phrases. And here's the trick. If you find phrases that repeat more than once, that typically tells you that that phrase was resonating with an audience, and that would be a good one to test on your products. But that's not all, right? It's one thing to kind of find these phrases, and then you take the phrase, and the next step is you have to break the phrase down into fragments. So you find these phrases, and now you need to break them down into their little constituent parts, right? Because I'm going to show you how to reassemble them later into new, unique phrases nobody's ever seen before. So get your phrases, organize them in your phrase bank like so. Then what you're going to do is you're going to start to break them down into fragments. So let's pretend for a second that this is a phrase, these kind of green bars I have on the screen. The words aren't important. I want you to get the concept. Pretend this is a phrase. Right? What you're going to do is you're going to look through and you're going to find each complete thought that makes up the phrase. Each of those complete thoughts is a fragment, right? Those fragments are what you're going to put inside of your phrase bank. So let's go through a real example just in case I'm losing everybody. Here is a blanket. It's a to my wife blanket. So it's in the romance niche. Let's read it real quick. It says, to my wife, never forget that I love you. I wish I could turn back the clock so I would find you sooner and love you. I wish I could turn back the clock so I would find you sooner and love you. If I could give you one thing in life, I would give you the ability to see yourself through my eyes. Only then would you realize how special you are to me. I loved you then. I love you still. Always have, always will. Right? Kind of romantic, sentimental. You can see how this moves emotion. Now let's point out where the fragments are. So first fragment you have here, never forget that I love you. It's a hook. It's an opener. It's one complete thought. Second fragment here, I wish I could turn back the clock so I would find you sooner and love you longer. Next fragment, if I could give you one thing in life, I give you the ability to see yourself through my eyes. Only then would you realize how special you are to me. I loved you then, I loved you still, always have, always will. Now this is what you take and you put inside of your phrase bank, right? So you do this with a bunch of different products. And again, you can go to Pinterest, you can go to Google Shopping and type like "to my wife" quotes, "to my wife" gift. You can get inspiration from Hallmark. You can go to Amazon and type like "to my daughter" necklace, "to my daughter" blanket, get a bunch of search results, go through the search results, look at the ones with the most reviews and things like that. Those are going to be the ones that are resonating the most with your audience. You can always do trend jacking, where you go to Google Trends, you try to find things that are trending, and then you find phrases related to those things. Etsy is a gold mine. You can go to Etsy, type in like "to my daughter" blanket, "to my daughter" card or something like that. Etsy can return just a ton of results. In fact, I might, if we have some time here, I might actually go to Etsy and show you this in real time to make sure that you understand it. You have Google. Google's, again, a gold mine. I'll tell you, here's a secret. Type like "to my daughter" open letter, "to my mom" open letter, "to my wife" open letter. Open letters are full of just sentimental gold, stuff that is going to make people cry. You take that, you put it in the right phrase, you stick it on a product, it can be absolutely amazing. Facebook, you can search out your competitors, you can look at what's working in the ads library on Facebook, and then you have some spy tools that you can use as well. But what you want to do, find those phrases, break them down into their fragments, and then you want to take that to the bank, baby. Build up a phrase bank similar to what I've got right here. Again, it can be in a spreadsheet, it can be in a Google Doc, it can be anywhere you can organize your phrases. And in the next session, when I come back, I'm going to show you how to take those phrases and start to reassemble them into something that's new, something that's unique and original and belongs to you, and that you're not just carbon copying from somebody else, and that nobody in the market has ever seen before, but contains the power of something that is sentimental, something that's emotional, something that is going to move somebody, right? So that you can potentially persuade them to buy from your store, right? That's the goal. That's the idea. So hopefully this made sense. Adrian, how am I doing on time here? Because if I have time, I might go a little further with this.
Yeah, you're good. We got roughly like a little over 10 minutes.
Okay, I want to go to Etsy, and I actually want to screen share being on Etsy.com and how I do this research myself. And then next week, I'm going to show you how to take all the phrases that you put in your phrase bank, and I'm going to show you how to make brand new original phrases out of that. So that's going to be your homework at the end of this. But first, let's go to Etsy, and I'll show you how to do this on Etsy. 1 second here. Let me pull up a new screen. Are you seeing an incognito window right now, Adrian?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic.
Now
All right, here we go. So, yeah, so here we go. We're on Etsy. I'm going to show you how simple this is. You're just going to blow your minds how accessible these phrases are, right? And how easy they are to find. You don't need expensive tools. You don't need, Chrome plugins and all this other crazy stuff. You can literally do it with the tools that are out there for free at your fingertips if you have an internet connection. It's an amazing time to be alive and an amazing time to be an e-commerce entrepreneur. So let's, over here in Etsy, just type, "to my daughter." We'll type "to my daughter" blanket. Look at that. It's filling it in for me. It took the thinking right away from me. So here we go. We've got a bunch of "to my daughter" type blankets. And again, what I'm looking for are blankets that have phrases on them, and more specifically, a phrase that I think is going to move someone emotionally. So you can see it returned a bunch of results here, and we're going to read through some of the results and see what we can find. Already, what's catching my eye is this "to my badass daughter" quote. It's catching my eye because there are so many of them. Let's see, these three anyway are all by the same creator. Now look, that's a clue. Success always leaves clues, right? If the same store, if the same merchant has duplicated the design and the phrase multiple times, that usually tells you the phrase itself is working. And if you look here, They all have the same exact phrase. All that's probably changing here, yeah, it's just the keywords in the listing. So here's what's happening. The merchant is clearly getting some sales on this, and they've duplicated their Etsy listing multiple times so that they show up more in the search results, right? Success leaves clues. It tells you that right here we have a phrase that has potential. So let's read it real quick. To my badass daughter, if fate whispers to you, you can't withstand the storm, whisper back, I am the storm. Wrap yourself up in this and consider it a big hug. Love, Dad. Now, any parents out there that are watching this, any parents right now that are in the chat, just stop for a minute, absorb that phrase and examine yourself. Were you moved emotionally, right? Did this cause you to feel something as it relates to your daughter, right? I bet it did. I can tell you right now, I have a daughter that's upstairs right now, and I was thinking of her when I read this phrase. It's powerful, it's impactful. It's definitely a little bit more masculine, which is good. It's like from, it says love, Dad on it. It's definitely a little bit more masculine and kind of forceful. It's amazing. So one more step I like to do when I'm doing my product research like this, I like to click into the listing. And even though it's got a bestseller tag, I like to make sure there's some other corroborating evidence, let's say, on the Etsy listing. So first of all, it says it's in 18 carts. That's always good. It shows that it's in demand. It's in 18 carts right now, people. Like, it's just handed to you on a platter here. It's absolutely amazing. All right, then you have 52 reviews. Make sure you click reviews for this item. It's very important because Etsy will also show reviews for this shop. And then what I like to do is I just want to make sure the reviews are recent, right? That tells you that it's selling right now and it wasn't something that sold, in the past. So today is June 11th. This one sold June 10th, June 4th, June 4th, May 29th. So this one is selling right now. So here's a phrase right here. Real quickly, let's break it down into its fragments just to make sure you understand how to do it. To my badass daughter, that's who it's to. That's the niche, right? If fate whispers to you, you can't withstand the storm, whisper back, I am the storm. That is fragment one. That is the first kind of complete thought of the phrase. That is what I would take and stick in my phrase bank. The next fragment is wrap yourself up in this and consider it a big hug. That's fragment number two. Fragment number two clearly works on blankets, right? Because you're going to wrap yourself up in a blanket. But you can tweak fragment number two to apply just about anything. You can put it on jewelry. You can say, put this around your neck and consider it a big hug, right? Just get a little creative, adapt it to the product you're selling, and it works, Okay, just because I want to be cautious of time here, I'm not going to go too deep down the rabbit hole. I think I've made my Etsy point. I'm going to jump over to Pinterest. I want to show you Pinterest. I want to make sure I'm over delivering, and I want to make sure everybody kind of understands this concept and how it applies across platforms. But look, Etsy is just a freaking goldmine of ideas here. I actually might come back to this after the stream here and see what else is here, because this is really cool. All right, next, let's just pop over to Pinterest. Now, I think Pinterest makes me log in. Yeah, they're gonna make me log in. One sec, let me drag it off screen, log in very quickly.
Hey, you can always hit pause on your screen share on the control panel. There's a pause button and log in. So if that's easier.
Yeah, that is easier. Okay, let me see if I can. 1 second.
See, this is really incredible. What he's showing is, a lot of the thinking is done for you. A lot of the design inspiration is there. You can take a lot of this and, replicate it and make it your own without, ripping it off, which would be unethical. But a lot of people, they don't do this because they get worried about, how do I come up with good ideas? He's showing you the answers are there. The ideas are right there. It's there for the taking. You just have to know where to go to get it. And Etsy is one of those places. Are you logged in Pinterest now?
Yeah, I'm good to go. Yeah, so like the ideas are out there. You don't have to pay to get it. A lot of gurus will gatekeep all the good research and stuff like that. You don't have to do that. Adrian's always delivering the goods. I'm delivering the goods. You can get stuff, you can get gold out of all these free tools. So look, I'm in Pinterest. It's the same methodology, You can come here, type to my wife quotes, to my daughter quotes, something like that. So let's just type to my wife, and I'm going to change it up. Instead of quotes, I'm going to do, let's see, to my wife, I don't know. I'm going to do, I love you, right? I just want to show you how easy this is. Like you don't even have to know the right keywords, right? And get in here, fumble around, and you're just gonna stumble onto the good stuff. So here it returned a ton of like meme type content, if that makes sense, right? Tons of these little romantic phrases and things like that. Now, what you're going to do is you're looking for signal in the noise, right? And what that means is you're looking for things that repeat more than once. If they repeat more than once, again, that usually tells you it resonated with an audience and is likely doing pretty well. So right away, some that are kind of catching my eye. This, I loved you then, I love you still, always have, always will. I see that one twice. That one has been played out a lot. So I would like to find something a little bit better. So let's just stay here for a second. And I'm looking for something that isn't like a big block of text, right? I don't want a big block of text. I don't want a letter, right? I want a phrase, if that makes sense. Something that could almost be in a song or a poem or something like that. Definitely something that could be in like a greeting card, for example. So there's a few of these here we're gonna read. By the way, you all may not be able to read this. I don't want to click into each one of these just for the sake of time. So you're just gonna have to trust me here. I'm gonna squint my eyes and read some of these. When we get to the end of our lives together, the house we had, the car we drove, the things we possessed won't matter. What will matter is that I had you and you had me. That one's good. That one's pretty powerful. Let's see if that one repeats anywhere. To my husband, I'm just gonna keep going down the line here. I love you more than you'll ever know. You're my greatest support, my biggest comfort, my true smile, my love, my forever. Thank you for standing by my side through all of the ups and downs. When it's too hard to look back and you're too afraid to look ahead, look right beside you. I kind of love the play on words there. I know that would work well on a phrase. That's probably one I would clip and put in my phrase bank just because of that little turn of phrase there. I know will work. We're a team. Meeting you was fate. Becoming your friend was a choice. Listen, I can already hear the tempo in this one, right? Like this one's going to be good. Meeting you was fate. Becoming your friend was a choice, but falling in love with you is beyond my control, right? It builds. The phrase kind of built to a crescendo. Like that one would work good. That's going in the phrase bank. If I did anything right in my life, it was when I gave my heart to you. I wish I could turn back the clock. I'd find you sooner and love you longer. I love you forever and always. We heard that one a little while ago when I was teaching, right? That's a phrase fragment I would definitely put in the phrase bank and so on. You can literally, like, look at this. Guys, there's just an endless number of ideas here. Dig deep, dig deep. Everybody that watches this right now, I guarantee everybody that watches this is going to go to Etsy, they're going to go to Pinterest, and here's where they're going to find most of their ideas, right? This above the fold, page one of the search results type of stuff, right? If you stay up here, you're going to be competing with everybody else. Do not be afraid to dig deep. Dig deep. Go to page 3, 4, 5, 6 of Etsy. Scroll down a long ways until you start finding stuff that's new, unique. It looks fresh, but it's still impactful. It's still moving. It's still sentimental. That's where you find things that are going to be fresh, going to be somewhat original, new to the market. Those are the phrases that are going to be scroll stoppers, and they're going to be more likely to cause people to pick up your stuff. So, okay, I'm reaching the end here, Adrian. So here's what I want you to do. You have some homework, right? Your homework is to fill your phrase bank with phrase fragments. Everybody, I want you to spend some time between now and the next session. I want you to go out to these search engines, to Etsy, to Pinterest, to Google Images, to Amazon, to any spy tools if you do any of that stuff. And I want you to find really good winning phrases, break them into their fragments, put them into your phrase bank. Next week, I'm going to show you how to take your phrase fragments. I'm going to show you how to start to bring them together in new and unique ways that nobody's ever seen before, so you can create your own original winning phrases. I also going to have a little bit in there about how you can use AI to shortcut this process and make stuff that really pops. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be cool. I can't wait to see you there. All right, Adrian, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. That is it. Everybody, you've been amazing today, and I can't wait to see you guys next week. We're going to get into some really cool stuff.
Awesome, awesome, dude. Thanks so much for this. I'm going to take the screen back. Let's get it to share my screen now. There we go. Show my screen. All right, cool. So look, y'all, again, the link to get access to ShineOn through my link is profitph.com/shine. So make sure you take advantage of that. He's given you some pretty incredible training last week and this week. Just make sure that you do more than just consume it, because consumption without action leads to absolutely nothing, right? You could be the smartest person in the world and have the most knowledge in the world, but zero experience from action, and be completely broke, right? So you have to actually do this stuff. He agreed to come on one last time because this was a longer presentation to kind of finish this out next week. And I know a lot of you are also interested in some of the other things that ShineOn has to offer, because they're a free app to use, but they have additional services where you get big discounts on the products, which saving money on a product in regards to your cost when you're doing volume and sales could be a game changer. They have just incredible stuff. So we'll talk a little bit about that for those of you that are interested in it. We'll finish this training next week. Michael, thanks for coming on, dude. I love your presentations. They're always like so engaging. Like the PowerPoints and slides are like second to none that you create. So thank you so much for coming on. Everybody else, I love you. I wish you a ton of success. Be here next week, same place, same time, right here, 9 p.m. EST on the Profit Power Hour. And we'll have Michael back one last time for a final training in this trilogy. And we'll see you then. Thanks, Michael.
Thanks, everybody. Take care. Peace.